Thank every one of you for coming out today. A week ago, not one of you would have imagined that we'd be standing here this afternoon. 3 months ago, I wouldn't have imagined I was standing out here this afternoon. But as you already know, the purpose of us gathering here today is for me to announce my official candidacy that I am seeking the nomination, the Republican nomination, for President of the United States of America. Some of you in counsel that I've received have asked the question, why don't you start just a little bit smaller? Well, there's reason for that. You and I know the problems of this nation. You and I understand the difficulties that we face, and we understand the seriousness of the consequences. I've spent a good part of my adult life yelling at television sets, ripping radio knobs off, and complaining. We've all done it. And I decided somebody's got to say this, somebody's got to say that, and why won't somebody say it? And nobody ever does. And I looked in the mirror one day and I asked myself the question, what is my son going to say one day when he asks, Dad, how did we get to this point? And why didn't somebody say something or do something? No matter how misguided anybody paints this campaign, no matter how naive they try to characterize me, that's the motivation. And it comes from right here in Hereford, Texas, where cows outnumber people, but we live by the same values that our forefathers lived by. Freedom, opportunity. We've got to make some serious changes in this country. And they're going to have to start from the top down with leadership. And I don't care what party you're in. I don't care how you voted in any previous or prior election. Our complaints are the same. Washington, D.C. is out of control. Washington, D.C. is out of touch with Hereford, Texas, or Ames, Iowa, or any other place you want to name. And we wonder why they don't understand us. We're paying the bills. We're paying our taxes. We're going to work every day. And they pay attention to us 2 times a year. And it's not Thanksgiving and Christmas, folks. It's April 15th and November 2nd. And we have more to say than those 2 days. This candidacy is not about another political career being launched. There are a lot of folks out there that are viable candidates in the Republican Party. Several of them, one former governor and one sitting governor, have recently said that Obama's going to be tough to beat. Maybe we ought to wait till 2016 when we have a better chance, when we're guaranteed a better result. We don't have that much time, folks. Today is the day that American citizens have to stand up and be heard. Not with another career politician, not with somebody looking at their own interest above the interest of the nation. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Many of you have seen my website, jaredblankenship.com. J-A-R-E-D. That's the biblical spelling, folks, so go look it up. jaredblankenship.com. You've seen many of my positions. Most of you here agree with many of those positions. But let's be perfectly honest. Outside of this group right here, outside of Hereford, America and rural America, people are going to look at this campaign and say, he doesn't have a chance. There's no credibility. And I ask you to consider this. If they call into question the credibility of an average American citizen, what does that say about their attitude toward each one of you and your voice? It's time that we've been heard again. I'm a realistic man. I've run a business. I live within a budget. I'm concerned about sending 2 children to college someday. I'm worried about the future of my business, just like every one of you. My concerns are exactly the same. The solutions that will address the problems of this nation will not come from Washington, D.C. How do I know? The last 2-3 decades have proven it. You want to address our problems? We address them right here as private citizens. We address them with common sense and rationale and discipline. That's not possible in Washington, D.C. The solutions will come right here from people who know how to live within a budget. I said I was a realistic man. I know what people are going to say out there. Oh, I appreciate what Jared's doing, but he doesn't really have a chance. He doesn't have any money, and my banker's back here and he's nodding his head up and down. Yes, he's right. I don't have any money. One or two people say, I can throw $100 million at it. Well, I can't. That's not what this campaign is all about. This campaign is about private individuals. $5, $10, $20, whatever. Or just the kind of efforts we saw right out here with volunteers in Hereford, America saying, we want to help out in whatever little way we can. Credibility comes from each one of you. The media on a national level, the racehorses in the race, are not worried about Jared Blankenship right now. They're not concerned about what impact this is going to have until each one of you and your friends and your family and your neighbors and your churches decide that we're tired of career politics. We want someone that's just like us, that thinks things through, that makes a decision and has commitment in his life and wants to make a difference for his children, not be focused on the next campaign. That's the choice that each one of you have. Whether you believe in it now, I hope you give me the opportunity to convince you, to sell you on the idea that the American people have a voice in this country. And that's not my idea. It goes right back to our founding fathers. Someone asked me the other day what chance I really thought I had. My answer, my chances of becoming President of the United States of America are about the same as a group of men who believed that they could found a country on nothing more than freedom, and that country endure for over 200 years. I still believe in America. I still believe we can solve our problems. I still believe that common sense ideas can fix our economy, rebuild our businesses, and allow each one of you to enjoy your lives and live your lives without Washington looking over every shoulder and every step that we take. I still believe that America is a great nation. I believe that our rights and our freedoms come from a Creator, not from Washington, D.C. And I know many of you hold those same sentiments. Our voice must be heard. Where do we go from here? If you sit there this afternoon and say, I like what Jared's saying, I agree with what Jared's saying, I hope it goes well for him, this will be our last gathering. I don't have the clout. I don't have the political experience, but that's fairly liberating. I don't have to worry about what anybody else is saying. I could represent the heartland of America. If you step back and wait and watch the show, we will get exactly what we've always gotten. And I hope each one of you understands fully the consequences of what we've always gotten. I'm asking each one of you to put your own credibility on the line just a little bit. I've got a website. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. All of the social media. Put your name on the line for America and send that information out to everyone you know. Talk to your friends. Talk to those people in other parts of the country. Because that's our next step. We can make a big splash. This is big news in Hereford, Texas. But the values, the beliefs, the convictions, and the direction that we're heading right here in Hereford, Texas is exactly where a lot of people in this country are wanting somebody to go. They don't know Jared Blankenship yet. I'm asking you to help me let those people know exactly who I am. Let them know exactly who we are as a campaign. That we can reclaim America. That we can provide opportunity for our children and our grandchildren. That's what we're all about. That's what really gets important when you get here on the street level. I don't know how Washington works. I have no political experience. And I don't care. And I don't think any one of us really care how Washington works because we know Washington's a mess. We care how Hereford, Texas works and how the Panhandle of Texas works and how each of the 50 states in this nation work. That's going to require each one of you. Whether you believe now, think about what's at stake. Whether you believe that I have credibility or potential today, think about what happens when average America continues to sit and watch. Is that where we want to go? Is that the future that we want to provide for our children? For my children. This is personal, folks. I know many of you are resistant to writing a check. That's a nobody. This thing ends right here without support, without help. You're not starting a new political career right here. You're standing up as a private citizen to have your voice heard on a lot larger scale than right here at the courthouse. It's a beautiful day. You know, I asked for this and look what we got. It's a beautiful day. We want to continue to have beautiful days in America and not be looking over our shoulder, wondering what's fixing to happen, wondering what's fixing to bite us, and wondering when our nation goes up in flames or when the bank comes to repossess. If you believe that we can make a difference individually and collectively, jump on board. That's an appeal from one private citizen to a bunch of private citizens right here. Help out. Stand up and be heard. Don't sit on your hands any longer. And let's make a difference and push this campaign all the way to Washington, D.C. I appreciate your support. There's quite a few people that I need to thank personally. Top of Texas has got a grill out here. Hereford Nursing and Care has got some hot dogs out here. Todd and Kay Gudgel privately donated a bunch of water. Plains New Holland got our showpieces over here to string our banner on. That's the kind of assistance that it takes. One afternoon, an individual taking a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, a little bit of personal finances to make a difference in America. I appreciate you coming out. I know many of you have to go to work. We still work for a living, but I appreciate you coming. May God bless each one of you, and may God bless the future of the United States of America. Thank you.